Hey, I'm Charting Man Dan, and I teach people how I use technical analysis to be a full-time trader. In this video, we're going to check in on the broader market. Fairly slow day after the holiday yesterday. Hope you all had a good one, but there was still volatility to be had in our crypto stocks and AI names. Also, we'll point out a potential bearish pattern I'm watching in one of our recent leaders. Let's get to the charts. So overall, a fairly low volume day, as clearly people are still on holiday. We had about half of the 20-day average volume in the S&P 500, and certainly lower elsewhere as well. But we had some consolidation begin, daily consolidation underway, and the bulls are attempting higher lows. If we look at SPY, we can see the lower open, but overall, still the bulls keeping control. And we had the rotation game going on yet again, where the NASDAQ saw strength on the morning while the financial sector pulled back, and then they took turns. So we're going to be looking for SPY to give us a daily high or low, anything above 431.19. And we'll see if that's potentially already being set. The NASDAQ was a potential cup and handle on the 12-hour time frame. Resistance, failure to break resistance, and then a bull flag. And it tried to confirm, but failed to do so. So looking at QQQ, bulls would have to break 372.34. We got 33 pennies away today. And then we just ended up the second half of the day forming a bit of a megaphone after the response to FOMC minutes, which was fairly uneventful. So at this point, we need to see the bears prove to us any meaningful daily consolidation. Ideally, the bears want to eye these gaps at 364.89. But again, bulls overall holding control today, which has been the case. Again, just the mindset of prove it to me, bears. Give me a reason to be looking short. And for me, that reason will be all major sectors hitting the lows together. The next time we see it, it's been a very long time since that has happened. Semiconductors, notable weakness, close at the low of the day. So a clear daily lower high has been set here. And if SMH were to break 146.83, that would confirm a daily downtrend and be a drastic shift in the momentum of this chart. If we hold that level, we'll have a tightening daily range in an equilibrium and patiently wait for a break next week. Keep in mind that earnings season starts at the end of next week with the financial sector. But NVDA holding on a bit better than the semiconductors as a whole. Watching to see, can the bears convincingly set the daily lower high and form a tightening range? Tesla held on well for the bulls overall. A little bit of weakness on the morning, relatively speaking, but recovered with a tightening range, breaking bull into the end of the day. And just a daily inside bar. If the inside bars break bear, we're going to look for first hourly oversold conditions. We're going to scout a daily high or low with plenty of space for it to form. There is a gap fill down to 264.45, but again, a gap being there is not enough to be looking for bears to take over because we've still got gaps back here. And gaps can take a while to fill. So hourly uptrend remaining intact for Tesla. Just higher lows from Monday into today. Healthcare, uneventful day overall. Broke the low of Monday by 2 pennies. Pretty much a daily inside bar. Non-event day. Financial sector, started daily consolidation. Zero follow through. Anything above 32.52 will be a daily higher low. The bulls have a ton of space to work with to form that daily higher low. Again, if we do get any bear follow through, a lot of these names have the gaps to be watching from between Thursday and Friday of last week, but only if we confirm hourly downtrends and see any kind of weakness. IWM, similar to semiconductors, did convincingly reject from daily resistance, so there's a tightening daily range here. Anything above 180 will be a daily higher low. Rejected right off resistance by 40 cents. And now, watching for the tightening range. So if we're out of the names we just looked at, the major sectors, IWM is a little bit weaker. The semiconductors are a little bit weaker. And other than that, most everything else holding on pretty strong. So the individual names, there was not much volatility in the broader market today, but definitely in individual names. Meta had a tight range. We knew this tight range was going to break within the next couple of days. You cannot get much tighter than this. And we ended up with the bull break. Meta has news tomorrow, known news, releasing their Twitter competitor Threads, and the bulls just absolutely took over at the open, just straight up. And you will note that the 5-minute stair-step pattern breaking bear marked the high of the day. Bulls used all of their energy on that move and then from that point, we pulled back 2%. Utilize stair-step patterns, whether it's to take profit as a bull, whether it's to enter short as an aggressive bear with a clear stop level to be going off of, and Google ChartGuys stair-step to see the video explaining that strategy. So the other individual names, we had XPEV. Bulls bought the dip and responded to QQQ strength first thing on the morning. Look at that volume. Anytime you see increasing bull volume like that, it stands out as this is unusual. This is not what we see on a daily basis. Generally, this is how volume starts, and then it consistently stays lower through most of the morning. But the bulls showed up with huge volume to prevent daily consolidation. I'm still watching for hourly oversold conditions to scout a daily high or low, but if we don't see daily consolidation, it's not going to happen. So still a lead bull on XPEV. AI, I sold my swing on Monday. Bulls followed through in a big way today. Hourly high or low is 38.65. As far as resistance, it's 40.47. And then there's very little resistance until 44.16. So the AI bulls still have full control. At this point, the only hope for the bears would be a 2-day head and shoulders. And the only way that would confirm would be significant weakness in the NASDAQ. PLTR also trying to continue. Had a lot of weakness today in the morning. Recovered into the end of the day. Trying to creep our way back up towards the recent high. A weekly bull flag is on the table for PLTR. And an inside bar on the weekly is trying to break bull tomorrow. 1580 resistance. Crypto stocks continuing strong. This was a good setup for a dip buying on opportunity on the morning. The reason was an hourly high or low was the most likely scenario on MARA and Riot after a very strong Monday. Plenty of space above the low of Monday for the hourly high or low, and Bitcoin was extremely oversold into the open. Hourly RSI low 20s, 15-minute RSI in the teens, and so it aligned with a confluence of signals where the most likely scenario for MARA and Riot, Bitcoin hourly oversold, and the NASDAQ bulls showed up first thing, and so we had a 6-7% bounce right out of the gate, 15-minute high or low on consolidation. After you see that strength on the morning, the 15-minute high or low then becomes the most likely scenario. So again, if you're not trading on that initial morning rush, you're watching for the signs that we're looking for those higher lows. The 15-minute time frame becomes the most clear for me after about 10:15 a.m. is when we start to look for those 15-minute time frames to give us the most clarity. And so I'm just looking right now. What names was I watching on the morning for those 15-minute higher lows? And it was MARA, Riot, NVDA, XPEV. So XPEV, 15-minute higher low, solid bounce from there. MARA and Riot both set the 15-minute higher lows. I was anticipating a 15-minute equilibrium here as the most likely, but the bulls made their way up into the resistance break. NVDA, 15-minute higher low, weak bounce, and then rolled over, a much different bounce than the other names. So that's the kind of scenario where if I make an entry on the 15-minute higher low, ideally stopping out break even by being wrong, and it was a rising wedge, bull break into consolidation, bull break into consolidation, rejection from resistance, rollover. But these crypto names are still very strong, and they're positioned extremely well. They've got relative strength. They're positioned well if Bitcoin sets a daily high or low. Hourly uptrend will remain our guide in these names. And again, just the volatility on a daily basis. If you're looking for something to trade, up 8%, down almost 5%, up over 5%, both directions. A lot of messages about CGC because of the big short squeeze on Monday. You've got to remember trend changes. When everybody's on one side of the boat, you get these moves where it's a mini short squeeze. We never confirm the hourly trend. Hourly stair-step pattern broke bear at 56 cents, and then from there we pulled back 20%. If you do not confirm trend changes, nothing changes. This is just a reset. It's the scales being way too weighted on one side, so they do this really quickly, and then it settles, staying that way. And we see it with, look at ACB on the daily time frame. I've been pointing this out for years at this point. ACB, the amount of short squeezes we've seen with no trend change follow through. Look at this 300% bounce over 3 days. Did we ever confirm an uptrend? No? Then we're just going to give it back. And then we did it again. Huge move up. Did we change the trend? Nope. Eventually we did, but not after giving back huge amounts of that move. Same thing here, just straight up, no trend change, give it all back. It's because everybody's on one side looking in one direction, the scales reset, and it's just a reshorting opportunity for bears. So CGC is still on a path towards zero. Unless we see hourly uptrends, daily uptrends, weekly uptrends. MSOS had a bull move, getting to the highest level in 5 weeks, but giving some of that back as well. Really have to clear 637 to try and get to the highest level in the last 3 months if we're going to see some follow through. You can see the weekly time frame just battling weekly EMA 12, maybe getting over it this week. But what do we need? Follow through. We had a nice tightening daily range, break bull. Now keep up some higher lows and higher highs. The dollar testing the recent highs, no sign of a weekly lower high yet. We're watching for it eventually. The metals are showing us relative strength. We've been watching relative weakness in the metals for this entire pullback. We saw the dollar consolidating and the metals not doing anything with that. And so now we see the dollar bouncing and the metals trying to bounce as well. Gold is still a daily downtrend and lower high is now set yet again. But silver confirmed a daily uptrend with a higher low and higher high, and the miners are trying to shape up a daily uptrend, must hold 28.76 and break 30.77. To have any confidence in the metals and miners, we need the dollar to set a weekly lower high, and we need gold to show us something is shifting. We can see silver is stronger, the miners are stronger than gold, but we need dollar weakness and gold strength for any kind of bigger picture shift. Oil is still sideways on the daily. Not really a whole lot of information for me. Just viewing this as an equilibrium. If we fail 72.72, it's just a lower high for a continued tightening range. If we break that level, it's a battle with weekly EMA 12 yet again, which has been rejecting the price the last 7 weeks. And natural gas 12-hour equilibrium breaking bear. So we had our high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high. We broke one support level. The bears need to break 2616 to follow through and lose daily EMA 12 support and lose the daily uptrend. So this is the first sign of weakness. This is the first red flag on this multiple week bounce. And the bears are going to try and follow through with that. Need to take out 2616 for us to then be looking for weekly consolidation and an eventual higher low attempt. So overall, not much going on in the broader market, but individual names still opportunity. I'm watching Amazon. Again, remember what I was talking about. Amazon daily EMA 12 still holding. Apple daily EMA 12 is support. Meta daily EMA 12 is support. QQQ will not see any weakness as long as that statement is true. Amazon is a potential 4-hour rising wedge, but it's not a confident rising wedge because we don't have a scenario where a lower high is the most likely scenario here. Still worth paying attention to it because it's a weekly stair step right now. Amazon has not seen weekly consolidation in 2 months, over 2 months. But for me, I'm keeping it simple. Daily EMA 12. Appreciate you watching. Have a great day and do good things.
Now, how do I feed them? Do I put it flat? They'll tell you. Okay. You know what? Now, you should know. They're very sweet. The 2 black ones, the Dewey and their boys.
Dinner from the garden. We've got greens, beans, potatoes, some baby onions, new kind of summer squash. I have no idea what that is, and some garlic.